Imagine a city of 800,000 inhabitants, a post-industrial shrinking city, seeking a new identity. Imagine the same city holding two growing universities with more than 120,000 students. Basically a golden goose, particularly if that city is going through a socio-economic crisis. Well, this city is Turin, and this is my case study. Many cities try to rebuild their image through a university-based knowledge economy. Turin is neither the first nor the last. But is that a desirable strategy to foster every city development, which impacts can produce? At the first step of my research, I analyzed the urban development strategies and policy discourses. I found the most common and stereotypical image of students. They are consumers, they are high-skilled workers and the creative class of tomorrow, and they also are temporary middle-class dwellers. In this view, the city has to attract and retain them, as well as promptly answer to their housing demand. This way we look at students is fundamental. It determines the impacts they have on cities because the way we look at them informs the way student-oriented policies are built. To analyze this phenomenon, I choose the housing dimension, since it is in fact one of the most important in defining students' impact. So, looking at student-led urban transformations in the housing domain, I follow with the suggestion of a minority of scholars to look beyond students, at different urban actors as key drivers of urban change. In fact, despite the growing number of researches on the so-called studentification, few have tackled the issue of student housing impact from the policy perspective. Students are just marginal gentrifiers. The more interesting question is the reason why and how some public actors decided to invest in student housing as an economic resource and what impacts this has produced. What I found is that student housing policies in Turin have fostered the transformation of student housing from a right to a commodity, its financialization due to the attraction of national and international real estate funds, and the entrepreneurialization of the public university, which collaborated, facilitating those private investments. Now, stop for a minute from considering students as golden goose. We have seen the side effect that this produces, and try to look at them as one of the city's manifold populations. Maybe this would help to imagine a different university city and to approach students and non-student housing policies in a more inclusive way, since the most relevant student impact on Turin do not rely on students themselves, but on the political and economic context, on actors and their